A number of years ago, there was a wildly popular bestseller entitled Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. The basic theme was that although men and women both belonged to the same human race, they were almost different species from each other. Men with Mars, the god of war in Roman mythology, evidence very masculine, very strong, very forward types of attitudes, opinions, and actions. Women, following Venus, the goddess of love from Roman mythology, were more nourishing, more emotional, more soft, if one will, okay? Now we know from not Roman mythology, but from the book of Genesis, it says, God created us as children. In his own image and likeness, he created us. Male and female, he created us. So although male and female are different, they are linked. They are part of each other because all of it comes from God. In fact, in the early church, there were many prayers that began with the words, O God, our Father and our Mother, thou. Well, last month I did a little fervorino on Mother's Day, saying that my favorite theologian, lay theologian, was a housewife who wrote Irma Bombeck, a practicing Catholic who had very concrete, practical, and identifiable insights into theology, God talk. And I talked about an essay that she had written about when God created mothers. Like all good theologians, she covered the circuit and she had a companion piece when God created fathers. And so for the rest of this little fervorino, I turn it over to the theologian Irma Bombeck. When God created fathers. When the good Lord was creating fathers, he started with a tall frame. And a female angel nearby said, "What kind of father is that? If you're going to make children so close to the ground, why do you put fathers up so high? He won't be able to shoot marbles without kneeling, tuck a child into bed without bending, or even kiss a child with a lot of stooping." And God smiled and said, "Yeah, but if I make him child size, who would children have to look up to?" And when God made a father's hands, they were large and sinewy. And the angel shook her head sadly and said, "Do you know what you're doing? Large hands are clumsy. They can't manage diaper pins, small buttons, rubber bands on ponytails, or even remove splinters caused by baseball bats." And God smiled and said, "Yeah, I know, but they're large enough to hold everything a small child empties from his pockets at the end of a day, and yet small enough to cup a child's face." And then God molded long, slim legs and broad shoulders. God was in the middle of creating two of the largest feet anyone had ever seen when the angel could contain herself no longer. That's not fair. Do you honestly think those large boats are going to dig out of bed early in the morning when the baby cries? Or walk through a small birthday party without crushing at least 3 of the guests? And God smiled and said, "They'll work just fine. You'll see. They'll support a child who wants to ride a horse to Banbury Cross, or scare off mice at the summer cabin, or display shoes that will be a challenge to fill." God worked throughout the night, giving the father few words, but a firm, authoritative voice, eyes that saw everything, but remained calm and tolerant. Finally, almost as an afterthought, he added tears. And then he turned to the angel and said, "Now, are you satisfied that a father can love as much as a mother?" And the angel shutteth up. Our fathers, we know, love us as much as our mothers do, even if in different ways and in different times. We know that our mother's ties to us are very, very physical since they bore us, but our father's ties of love are acts of the will, acts of volition, acts of choice. On this Father's Day, fathers we know with gratitude, with devotion, with awareness that you love us as much as our mothers love us. And Dad, we want you to know, we love you as much as we love our mothers. And now, like the angel, I will shutteth up.